Welcome over to Test with TV episode 357. Today is May 16th, 2017. Excellent. Glad to see it. We're going to play a funny start position today with a mess of pawns on the board. It's an idea I got from a viewer who I love because I love every viewer, including you. So let's not waste any more time. Let's go take a look at the position and then you can judge for yourself if you actually want to watch this episode. Are you ready? This is the position. Go away, weird challenge. So it's basically a chess position, except it's kind of a horde chess in terms of a horde of pawns. We couldn't give one side the horde because the other side would be losing. So we actually have kind of a balanced position here. We're going to try it against the viewership, and then maybe we'll have to make a small modification or two. So if you have a suggestion that's very similar to this, but not quite, you can also send me a challenge and maybe we can try that position. However, it needs to be very similar in terms of both sides having a horde of pawns um, and pieces behind it. It needs to have pawns and pieces. So we're going to see who wants to play this game. Mess of pawns and just see how it works. I think the pawns are going to get locked up and then like the game will become very boring. Like that might happen. And at which point what you should do is just switch to a different episode because there's a lot of great chess moves on the internet and doesn't have to be this episode. But if the pawns do interesting things like capture each other, maybe you should stick around because then maybe the whole thing will become interesting. So the challenge has been accepted by Toms11235. Hi, Toms. I think that's an excellent username. In case you didn't notice, these are the first 5 numbers of what's called the Fibonacci sequence, which is taking 2 numbers and adding them. So 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 3 is 5. So the next number here is 8 because 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 is next, so let's tell him that. And hopefully that will make sense to him. So he has the white pieces. He's going to begin. So it actually goes, oh no, I'm missing a pawn. Oh, I guess I'm not that smart because I have given myself 1 missing pawn. But maybe I can still beat this Tom's guy because he doesn't have his 8. So that's good. Yeah, it goes 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 78, if I remember correctly. It's always a good idea. No, it's 88. No, it's 78. 34, 55, 89. It's a good idea to memorize the Fibonacci sequence in case you meet any girls who are really impressed by Fibonacci, because if that happens, you want to be prepared. It's up there with memorizing pi. So here he goes. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 24, 34, 21, 30. It's what I said here, but look, he goes further. So Tom's, he knows where it's at. He's going to really impress people, except he's not moving any chess pieces, so that's the downside. So I think I could play some chess here. Strike out in the center with the pawn. It's a good idea. I'm going to go for the push because these pawns, here's the way I'm looking at it. They're worth 1 pawn each. Oh, I could trade off my side pawn. These pawns are worth 1 pawn each back here, but only if I can use them. If I can't use them, they're not worth it. So I'm going to try to use them. Are you going to take this one? He's not. Well, he should have, I think. That's defended. Maybe knight. Maybe knight up. Maybe I should just be in ghetto. Suddenly I realize that there's room for my pieces in here. So I'm like, stop moving everything. There's a hole. Use it before it's too late. So let's castle underneath this thing. This is a stupid position, actually. I have to think. I have to think that. It's required by law now that it's stupid. So D5? Definitely struggling here, but I got my pieces out. My pieces are out and about. So he's castled queenside. Let's pawn storm him. I don't think I'm going to stand much of a chance. 4 pawns against, what is this, 12? Even more than that, 3, 6, 9, and 4. 9 plus 4, I don't know. You're going to have to do that yourself. It's a very, very difficult math problem for me. So I can't get through there. So my alternative is, I think, E4 and use the center file. This is stupid. This is so stupid. I don't know why we do such stupid stuff on Chess with TV. I mean, we could be doing really interesting, like a couple episodes. We had an episode called Endgame Practice. It was a great episode. I mean, we did useful things with our brains. We learned about endgames. We played a couple of common endgames. We learned the techniques. If you want to play some serious chess or learn more about endgames, go take a look at that episode. I think it was like 354, 355, somewhere in there, just pretty recently. But this is a good way to rot your brain. I can't believe we would be doing this, but it's kind of fun. I guess that's the purpose. I challenge you. I challenge you to answer this question. What's more important? improving your skill, or having fun. Oh, I can't hear you. So apparently this is not a two-way radio communication device. I can only. Should I take with bishop or knight? I think I should take with knight. I actually love this blockade I have here. So I'm really curious to know what people think actually, because the reason we improve our skill is to have fun, to be honest. I mean, we don't like sucking at things, pardon my language, and so we try to improve at them in order to have more fun because we like winning. So if we're better, we'll win more, right? So what we're going to do is ask you guys for realsies. which one is which one is better? In fact, I'm going to go to straw poll, which is very difficult to type. In fact, I've typed straw pool instead. That's how difficult it is. And find out for reals which is more important and better and all those things. So I have my pieces out here. I mean, all my pieces are doing things. His pieces aren't quite developed yet. So even though I'm down a pawn due to my own mistake, this is interesting. Maybe I should push again. Yeah, I'm gonna push. Undouble my pawns. Oh, I should unquadruple some of these. Oh, it's just triple. Perfect. Okay. F4 looks good. I've got a lot of attackers here on d4. A lot of attackers. A lot of attackers. If you're just wandering in and wondering what we're doing, we are playing chess. It's actually chess. It's just kind of a strange position, so I hope you're enjoying the chess game. The other thing we're doing, though, is taking positions similar to this, where it's like chess, but there's a lot of pawns. So if you have an idea, like maybe just 2 rows of pawns for each player that you want to try against me, challenge me on lichess.org. Just type in lichess.org in your browser, find ChessWiz, which is very hard to find. And you can send me a challenge and maybe we'll try a position like that. So here I am at strawpoll.me. It's a great website where you can type questions. Which is more important, improving your skill or having fun? I'm going to find out what you guys, the viewership, think about this because, in my opinion, I don't know the answer. And so it's always good to get the opinion of others. I want to break through here and win this game. So push, take. That's not useful. I want to. This is almost pinned, so I could like almost play this, but it's not quite pinned. In fact, it's not even close to pin. Let's play. If I can move this knight, I could take this pawn. Can't dislodge it though. I can't make any progress here. I can't play f4. I can't do other things either. What I need to do is find a weakness and focus on that. Okay, so weakness. Let's see. There we go. That was my weakness. Wrong view. I don't see any weaknesses in his position. I could play like this. Look at that. Look at that. He's not defending that pawn. He's about to be. This isn't a good move, by the way. If you're wondering, like, is that a good move? No. This is awful. He's now going to promote his pawns. He found a weakness. It's just not his. It's my weakness. Fortunately, I can take that. Am I getting forked? Yes. So pushing the massive pawns is actually powerful. This is very counterintuitive. The reason is we've castled opposite sides of the board. His king is on this side. So you'd think I would want to focus there and checkmate him. But it turns out that because he has 1,000 pawns or 13, whichever is smaller, it's actually a strong area of the board for him to play in because he's ahead by 7 or 8 pawns, which is a lot of pawns, and so he could promote one. So I should have been like doing the same thing to him over here. Maybe. I don't know. His good play made me not even think of that. Do I need to sacrifice more pieces? I don't want to. Got some things here now. Let's go here, because then I'm attacking this. He's adding me time. That is humiliating. I think I get a pretty good blockade like this, as long as this pawn doesn't come through, but it will. Urgh. Wow, this guy's really using his pawns to his advantage here. This is excellent for him. I'm getting a question in the chat. It says, why is your camera bad? By the way, opponent, Toms, you need to stop adding me time because my brain will automatically use it. I'm trying to get forked here. And so if you add me time, the game will take forever. Don't do it. I like that for me. So now I've blockaded your pawns. My camera is not bad. It's a very nice camera. It's a Logitech. That's how good it is. Logitech C920 or something like that. That's a good move right there. But I am deconstructing you, taking a lot of your pawns. This move's very good. Due to the fact that he's just a slightly worse chess player, I'm able to recover somewhat. I think that he had a great position with the excellent pawn storm, and it fell apart because I made better moves. That's the only reason. Like, he was doing so good. If it weren't for his bad moves, he would have beat me. It sounds silly, but it's true. But I think picking up this extra rook is going to help me a lot. Now I'm going to be ahead of knight. I guess I'll give him time so he can lose slower. That's the general rule of thumb: is give your opponents time when they're losing badly, because then you'll win anyway. Who would want to give up a win? So don't do that. Oh, take a queen with a knight. Do that. So even if I hadn't done that, I would have had checkmate. I would have had an extra knight, 2 knights and rook against 1 knight and a rook, plus the massive pawn. So I did win that game, but he was definitely beating me. At times, you had me with that pawn storm, and that was really smart because you're supposed to defend yourself over there. Instead, you were being really aggressive, and that was pretty cool the way you did that. So good game, Toms. Let's see what we've got in terms of challenges. Nothing, but that's no problem. Let's go back to the from position board because we're going to create a challenge here. So the new rule is that I'm adding more pawns. This is the new position. In fact, I'm going to do this. Because it's legal in America. So let's see. Continue from here. Play with a friend if I still have any. And let's try this position now against anyone in the chat. And while we're throwing this out there, we're also going to create a poll. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, you can't join this chat because you don't have a time maneuvering device. However, you can answer this poll because below the video is a link to this poll. I'm going to improve my spam prevention, I think. Sure, I'll improve that. And I won't allow multiple poll answers. Ready, go. We are playing against Toms again. Wow, Toms, you are the most prolific viewer. So this is the poll right now. Which is more important, skill or fun? You could play with me, but you have to be quicker than Toms. I got a question in the chat like, can I play with you? And the answer is no. No, because you're not as fast as Toms. Whoever clicks that link first gets to play. Let's undouble these pawns. Okay, this is pretty cool. I mean, how often do you get to say, I have quadruple pawns on the e-file? Not very often. It's quite possible in chess to end up that way. I guess I'll take. But it takes a lot of work. I feel like I need to bring out my pieces. But if you look at this bishop, look at the problem this bishop has. His bishops are way better off, right? His bishops can actually enter the game. But this bishop, it's blocked by 1,000 tons of pressure. You know, I think I should go this way. Because when you think about it, okay, now I can free the bishop. Kind of. This is excellent. When you think about it, you can get 2 pawns for a piece over here. That could be pretty good. Okay, let's work on the fianchetto. So if you're watching live right now, go ahead and click that link I've thrown in the chat and tell me which you think is more important, skill or having fun. It's a great question in terms of Chess Whiz TV because there's a lot of shows out there, chess shows. Relatively speaking, there's a lot. I mean, in total terms, there's not a lot of chess shows, right? Because who would want to watch chess when they could watch people punching each other, which is, by the way, thousands of times more popular than chess, approximately. I'm going to go with the push. But there are, relatively speaking, many chess shows out there, and they seem obsessively to focus about improving at chess, even the ones that are bad, like in terms of skill. They're like, guys, I just learned how the bishop moves. It turns out it can't jump. The horse jumps, right? And you're like, what? This is not called a horse. And you punch your screen, and you have to buy a new monitor. But they're focusing on improving too. They're like, guys, I just need to make a new video because I've learned that the bishop can't jump. Oh, good. I'm so glad I watched that video. Now I'm better at chess. Sorry, I'm waving around my mouth near the microphone. Is this better? The microphone. Okay. I'm going to push here because my goal is to dominate over here. We'll call those beginner videos. There's some of those. In fact, I've made some. Maybe not the horse part. This is fun. I don't know, but I think it's fun and that's important, right? And the high level games, the high level streams also. I mean, there's one with a chess player, if I remember correctly. And even he is focused on improving. So I think it's very unique to have a chess show where you're focused on having fun instead. I think that's unique. That's our core competency, by the way, not improving at chess. Have you noticed my rating graph? Look at this. Okay, I'm going to share you my rating graph. I'm sharing it you. My language is lacking. Are you ready? Should I trade my queen? I'll allow a queen trade, I think. Wow, I can go this way and I don't have to. I can just keep my center pawn. I would rather do that. Okay, here's my rating graphs. Over all time, these are my all-time ratings. Look at this. Look at this. Straight across. And this is over years and years and years. This account on Lichess is 5 years old. Look, it's active since March 22nd, 2012, and it's now May 2017. So hold on, I really have to deal with this problem. I know it's bothering. There we go. There we go. Ooh, barely survived that. Oh, he adds me time. Toms, you should know not to add me time. You should know that. I guess you don't know it. Ooh, look at that. Wow, nice move. Nice move. These rating graphs go completely horizontal. I am not improving at all. I am among the few chess players who have been playing so consistently, so studiously, because this is 15,000 chess games, and the rating is completely flat, right? So I'm unique in my ability to not improve. I think you should be impressed. This chess show is about having fun. Now that I've admitted it, we're not going to have any fun at all. It's going to be the world's boringest chess show. In fact, I'm not going to say anything more. Let me just turn on some jazz music. Just take your stuff here. Wow, I got a lot of material with those pawns. Toms, I appreciated that game. I used your strategy there. I mean, besides the fact that you just gave me a bunch of pieces, but I used your strategy of playing on the side with all the pawns. I was willing to play h3. Now, normally in a horde game, and I've played a lot of horde chess. I've played a lot of everything. You wouldn't want to play h right here. You wouldn't want to play this move because you would lose these 2 pawns for a knight or bishop, which is 2 pawns for a piece, which in horde chess you don't want to give up because that's 2 valuable pawns. You only have 30 left. But in this game, I went for it and it worked out great. So I'm gonna try this position once more, I think. And Tom's, you're not allowed to join because you've had all the games so far, which is great, but we are communists here. So we're gonna try to get someone else. Maybe that's not related. We are capitalists here, Tom, so we're going to try to get someone else. Makes sense. Let's go take a look at the results of the poll. Which is more important, fun or skill? I'm going to say fun is more important. Oh, that is so hard for me because I'm a super competitive person, And for me, I would rather lose and lose and lose if I'm improving. So it's such a hard question for me. I guess that's why I asked it. So I'm just going to click results and not answer the question. Fun is more important, 5 votes. Skill is more important, 0 votes. Wow, 100% on fun. Hello, Horrid Henry. I joining, I playing. Cool, cool. Let's see what happens here. This may be our last game of the episode. So if you're thinking nothing ever happens, he just makes blobs of pawns, that's okay. I just recommend you not watch this episode. Like I said, this episode is about having fun, which is going to leave you lacking skill. So, yeah, what can you do? The ratings of our opponents have been significantly below mine. The last one was 1300, this one's 1200. So that could be contributing to the outcome also. Generally speaking, the person with the bigger number wins. I haven't figured out why that is. I don't think I've been playing very well, but I'm really glad he took with pawn here. Look at this, because I want him to lose and I want me to win. The bishop has a great line out here to come into the game, and instead he blocks off his bishop with an isolated pawn. This pawn now is called isolated because there's no pawns on this file and no pawns on this file that could ever defend him without some kind of capture, which is cheating for pawns. So the conclusion is that's a weak pawn now, which is great for me. So I think I'll castle behind my massive pawn, actually. I think that's what I'll do. I'm going to go bishop here, queen here, castle, king b1 after castling. Then it'll be safe. And then I'll just try to play in the center of the board like a chess player. It turns out this massive pawns over here is not going to be useful at all, in the least. I mean, this might as well just be 2 pawns, if not however many thousand pawns it is. Whoa! Watch out for that, Mr. Henry. I guess you didn't watch out for it. Play atomic with me? No. At least it's yes or no question. Makes it easy to answer. Okay. I don't want to lose the e-pawn. I think maybe I should have played my queen up. It's very difficult to maintain this pawn here because of the massive levers he has. Usually, it's like attack a pawn chain at the base, but it's not. Attack a pawn chain at the base with 1,000 pawns. Turns out that's another good proverb. If you happen to have quadruple pawns behind a pawn chain, you should do that. So he's got a pretty good setup here for attacking this. Maybe you should watch this episode. Go back to the view that we like. I'm good at atomic. Oh, I think you're just relatively good at atomic. Another way to say that is I'm less good at chess. Take a look at his skills here. 1,300 in classical, 1,400 in correspondence, 1,200 and 1,200 and 1,900. So he is good at atomic, relatively speaking. I won't respond though. I'll just keep playing chess. 1,900! I think we know that. So I have a check here. If I ever feel like I want to check him, I've got that. What I really want to do though is get the rest of my pieces out. So I will go queenside. Normally, if you're ahead, you don't want a castle on the other side of the board like this. Just keep it simple, you know what I mean? And nasal passages. And maybe I shouldn't have taken that. And don't make things risky by sending your king to a faraway land where he might build up an attack against it. However, ooh, that would be risky. Risky way to play. In this position, this might be the safer spot, actually, because I have 8 pawns defending my king. Who could say that? Whereas over here, he's got 8 pawns attacking my king. Who could say that? So actually, I might be safer away from that mess of pawns. So if he pushes, I could take that, so that's good. Overall, though, I'm kind of struggling here. I think I'm kind of struggling. This could definitely get difficult. Let's try that move, pinning him for now, and then I can play knight g1 and defend. Look at this. Oh yeah, I'm defending myself. So that's actually my move, if you can believe it. He should push though. This is kind of funny. I'm struggling to win this game. It actually turns out that if you get these pawns really advanced like this, they can be pretty deadly. I don't want to capture that because this pawn right here is worth nothing. And if I allow it to come out and do its thing, it'll be valuable. I could easily lose this game. I'm concerned. Need to get my pieces a bit more active here. So take. I have this intermezzo with check if necessary. Take. I'll take the knight, allowing him to fork me. I guess it's this way. This is rough. Does he end up ahead? See, I'm ahead of the exchange. I'm ahead of rook for a bishop. But this pawn is dangerous. Not to mention all of his fast pawns over here. Horrid, Henry. This is horrid. So I go for a trade here. I think removing these pieces will help me. Okay, so forcing this trade. Now, how do I like do something here? Rook here maybe will slow him down. Oh, he could still push. He could still push and then push. And then, yeah, he is pretty stopped. He's going to need his king. Most people need their kings. Got a message here. Oh, the whole world is following me on Twitch. I love it. Thank you, whole world. Okay. Maybe that wasn't a good move. Oh, this is difficult. Yes. I want to trade my pawn for your pawn because this pawn here is the only one of its kind. It's the only one on this file. It's going to help me out a lot to capture it. So let's do that. Now it's this pawn that has me concerned because the other 5 I can stop on h1. So let's see. I'd better get my king in the game. That's what I think. Don't want to allow his bishop to get here. So if he comes like this, I have to get underneath quickly. Let's get the king over here. I need to blockade these squares. Just in time. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm not just in time. Okay, so I think if he'd played h3, he would have had me because he'd be threatening this move. How could I stop everything? And I can't move in, but now I'm stopping pawn h3. That was lucky for me. Pawn h3, I think, would have been a winning move here. So now I'm actually stopping all the pawns, but I do need to keep my rook covering h1 because if he plays h3, I need to take it. This is rough. The existence of this one pawn is worth more than like these 3 together because it's a lever and it's so clever. So let's go here. Big Fat Panda also wants to tell me my internet's bad. I know that, Big Fat Panda. Did you know that you're a Big Fat Panda? Bet you didn't know that. Bet you didn't know you're a Big Fat Panda. This is called a chin stroker. I don't think he's made the best choice by attacking the back pawns here. I think he'd be better off attacking the front ones. I think I can win this now. Oh no, I'm going to get a queen. So I do think my opponent has misplayed this in several different areas. The middle of the board, the left of the board, and the right of the board. Those could be the areas that he's misplayed it. And that has assisted me significantly in winning this game. But no, I'm not going to take a draw. I would actually think that he could have won with h3 a few moves ago, back when I pointed it out. He should resign. Man, I'm going to resign. You're not worth it. So let's rewind briefly to this position here. When he suddenly moved his king up, if he played h3 here, he'd be threatening this move, which would then be threatening this move. I wouldn't be able to stop. any of it. So he would actually play h3. I can't move anything useful. Then he'd play g2. At that point, I could move my king down, but then he would play h1 and get a new queen. So that was very close to him winning. In fact, he would have won. I have a challenge from Risky Chess. Not sure if I'm going to take it or not. Just depends on the position. It is a boring position, so I'm not going to take it. I'm going to say good game. Nice play. That was fun. So if you're watching right now, that's too bad. I'm so sorry for you, but I hope that you can join us next episode, because next episode we are going to play King F2 chess. Like for the first move, like the very first move of the game, we're going to capture our own pawn and play King F2, because up on that pedestal, the king can direct the whole army. Actually, it's a really strong place for the king. I don't know if you've ever tried King F2, but it's so good. It's better than castling. Not only is your rook able to come in, wait, that's the same as castling. Never mind. This has been ChessBizTV. Thanks for watching.